And I'll begin by asking you all, how many pages do you like? Daniela, how many pages do you like?
Oh God, probably 100.
100? Does anyone have an idea? You've never counted? How many?
5 or 6.
5 or 6? You really hate Facebook, yeah? No?
No, you mean actual Facebook pages?
Yes.
As opposed to, yeah.
Yeah?
About 5 or 6.
Okay.
Do you every day or
Like in total, like if you well, I don't know, maybe it's a lot. So I mean, if you were to go into your info on your page and see the number of likes you can generate, it'll tell you how many you have. You don't know?
I don't know.
You don't know?
70, I thought.
70?
No.
So the average, apparently the average number is 80 pages, which I thought seemed quite a lot. I thought, what the hell are these people liking? Where do they have the time? Until I actually checked out my number, and it was about 208, which I was really quite surprised by. So it's really interesting that there are people, everyday people who are connected to so many pages. But the question I want to know is, what kind of pages? So let's start to talk about, let's begin to segment these between sort of the silly stuff and the pop bands and work-related things, and what I'm really interested in and to talk to you guys about is brands, like real brands. How many brands we actually follow. So first of all, let's talk about what type of pages do you like. Anyone want to share what kinds of pages do you normally like?
Because I said that I had about 80. I don't like silly pages.
Right.
And I don't like bands. I just like things that I need. Like, I'm a bit selfish. Like, for instance, uni, work, potential work. I might like a few pages of friends that they've created, but they're like, I've liked a few pages. One of my friends is trying to be a movie maker, so I've liked him to kind of show my support. But no, I don't do the whole "does my bum look big in this page" type thing.
Anyone else? Yes?
More hobbies.
Sorry?
Hobbies?
Hobbies?
Like music, support.
Yep.
And brands that I like.
Yeah. Anyone else? Who likes really crazy, stupid pages that have no sense whatsoever? Like maybe some pages like this. So I've found some fun ones here. The first one is, join me if you think Cheryl Cole looks like Michael Jackson in this picture. That's a page. Another one, quit smoking. Third one, dear homework, you're not attractive and I'm not doing you. Fourth one, I survived Y2K, bird flu, mad cow, 9/11 and swine flu, 2012, here I come. So that's a fairly new one. Next one, the Marie Curie Cancer Center. And the last one, dear Pringles, I cannot fit my hand inside your tube of deliciousness. Now, does anyone want to guess which is the most popular of those pages?
Cheryl Cole.
Yeah, Cheryl Cole.
Okay, so the most popular one is I survived Y2K. So this is new, relatively new, and it has already over 10 million likes. What's the next one? Dear homework. Next, Pringles. Keep in mind that these are quite universal as well, so it's quite easy to pick which are the UK ones. So that's international. So what's next? And sadly, there's more people who like a picture of Cheryl Cole looking like Michael Jackson than there are people who are in support of UK-based charity. And quit smoking has 23,000 which is really, really embarrassing. But it tells us something about why people are using Facebook and how they view Facebook as entertainment or an extension of their personal lives, or thinking about things that make them happy as opposed to things that don't make them happy. Oh, and if you're wondering, yes, she kind of does look like Michael Jackson in that picture. And speaking of celebrities, when we look at the ultra famous, most popular pages, without a doubt, celebrities just completely own this. It's very, very hard for us to kind of match the kind of numbers. So if you look at these are the top 6 celebrities on Facebook. They're all within the top 10 pages on Facebook. Actually, number 1 is called Texas Hold'em, so it's like the most popular thing on Facebook is gambling. But you can see that this is the kind of numbers that the top celebrities are getting. Can anyone guess the only brand that comes anywhere near this? No?
Coca-Cola.
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 Yeah. So remembering that it's very hard sometimes to kind of differentiate what's universal and what's just limited to a few countries. So and you can imagine that something like Coca-Cola will continue to become even bigger now that countries like India and Brazil are coming onto Facebook more and more. And if one day China was to come on, well then Coca-Cola would probably raise to the top. In fact, all the top things would be Chinese. Okay. So I want to have a talk about like these kinds of different things that we like, because there's obviously these silly pages about Cheryl Cole and celebrities and whatnot. But if you could have a think about like the UK, the country we live in, who here is not from the UK? Okay, so it's just you, yeah? It's just you two, okay. Okay, so like we all live in the UK, so we've been here for a number of years or months or weeks, whatever. So I want you to have a guess of like, if we look at the top 20 pages in the UK, this is absolute top 20, what do you think the categories are? So there's, I've kind of given you a hint here, it's like 50% fully fall into one category. Anyone like to have a guess? Very good. Next?
BBC.
No. It's very good. A+. Third?
Gossips?
No.
TV show.
Very good. And the 1 out of 20?
Brands.
Someone mentioned it before. Burberry. Just one. So you actually look at the top 20, and absolutely half, like out of the top 20, 10 bands. The number one is Beatles, but there's also Queen and Adele and who else? Sorry?
Lady Gaga.
No. This is just UK. So she doesn't make it into the top 20 UK. And then of course you can imagine there's like Chelsea and Liverpool and Manchester United, etc. in there. TV shows, so House is the most popular TV show in the UK. I never imagined this, but possibly because the lead actor is British, and just one brand. I mean, you could argue that Manchester United is a brand, but in terms of a kind of a retail high street or kind of products and services brand, only one brand makes it into the top 20, which is Burberry, which makes me wonder, what are we doing working in this industry when it's so hard to kind of get our brands anywhere near that? And then you think about a brand like Burberry. This is UK, but Burberry's international. So even the fact it is there is probably because so many people in the States also like the brand. And the fact that Manchester United is there is because people in China and Indonesia and everywhere else love those football brands as well. So it's very, very competitive to even get noticed within the kind of the upper echelons of Facebook pages. So now what do I like? So I was trying to think, okay, so I'm not British, but I live here, and I thought, is this real? Shall I go in and kind of share with you the pages that I like? As I mentioned, there were 208. A lot of them are way too embarrassing to mention, so I'm not going to share those. It's a bit like sometimes if you borrow someone's computer and you listen to their iTunes, and you put it on the things that they most play, just to really get an insight into your friends. So I kind of stripped out all of the crap and just decided to keep it all within brands. And these were all the brands that I like. I don't know, maybe you're familiar with some of them. Burberry made it in there, yeah. And then I thought, well, then I have to be honest with myself and say, well, a lot of these brands I actually either work with or I follow because it's work related. Do you know what I mean? So, so Adidas, I work with Adidas. American Express, BP, we work with BP. British Airways, we work with British Airways. Captain Morgan, we work with Captain Morgan, and so on and so forth. Until all I'm left with, if I strip those out, these are the only brands that I actually follow. And then if I think about it even more, are there any Australians here?
Vegemite's Australian.
Yes,
yeah.
So it proves I'm Australian, and Milo as well. So like, and if I think about it even more, so these, if I took away the brands that I loved when I was a kid, that I've always loved, the only two that would be there would be Burberry and Tom Ford, because I only discovered them as an adult. So it's quite interesting that if someone like me who spends a lot of time online, who accesses Facebook on a daily basis, who pays a lot of attention to to what brands are doing on social media, even I only really like a handful of brands. So it just goes to show how difficult it is to kind of really target people and to reach people.